Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hope you are all fine. Earlier we had discussed at least 3 units in which we had discussed certain topics that are important from your exam point of view. And today we are going to discuss unit 4, that is man and environment, and topic which we are going to discuss today, that is man as a creator and destroyer of environment. Alright, then let's start. शुरू करने से पहले मैं आपको बता दूं, अगर आप चैनल पे नए हैं तो मेक श्योर आप चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें। सो आइए शुरू करते हैं। लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन। जो रिलेशनशिप है बिटवीन ह्यूमन्स एंड द एनवायरनमेंट, दैट इज़ वेरी कम्प्लेक्स एंड पैराडॉक्सिकल। एंड जो ह्यूमन बींग्स है, दीज आर द इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ द नेचर, yet they are also its most important powerful modifiers. And unlike other species, जो human beings हैं, they have the advanced intelligence technology, and they also have an ability to plan for the future. and ये जो unique capacity और ये जो unique ability है, this ability allow humans to shape the environment both constructively and destructively. And on the other hand, जो human activities had, they have led to the environmental degradation, pollution, climate change, and loss of biodiversity. While on the other hand, जो humanists हैं, they also have the knowledge and creativity through which they can conserve nature, they can restore the ecosystems, and they can also build a sustainable future. Thus जो concept है man as a creator and destroyer of environment, it basically highlights the dual role of the humanity or human beings, which shows that कि जो humans हैं, they have caused the unprecedented damage to the earth, and they can also play a important role to protect it and to regenerate their environment. ठीक है. First of all, talking about the man as a destroyer of environment, that is the anthropogenic impact on the environment. Human induced environmental destruction जो है, it is also called as anthropogenic degradation, and it has intensified rapidly due to the industrial since from the industrial revolution. And ये जो relentless pursuits है of human beings of economic growth, industrial expansion, and consumerism, it had created an enormous pressure on the natural systems. And जो anthropogenic impacts है, that includes the atmospheric degradation or air pollution and climate change, like fossil fuel combustion, जो कि हमें one of the most severe impact देखने को मिलता है human activities को on the environment, that is basically the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, natural gas. और ये जो fuels हैं, these fuels mostly power today's industries, vehicles, power plants, and households. but इनका जो consumption है, that release large amounts of carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide into the atmosphere. And ये जो harmful gases हैं, these gases trap heat within the environment's atmosphere, which further intensify the greenhouse effect and leads to the global warming. And ये जो consequences हैं, these consequences include rising global temperatures, melting glaciers and polar ice caps, rising sea level, threatening coastal areas, increase in frequency of extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, cyclones, and heat waves. So climate change जो है, it is no longer a future threat, but it is present reality that is caused largely by the human actions. Second, anthropogenic impact is जो है, that is ozone layer depletion. Like human activities जो है, they have also damaged the ozone layer. And ये जो ozone layer है, this layer basically protects our life on the earth from the harmful UV radiation. And जो widespread use है chlorofluorocarbons का, especially that are used in refrigerators, air conditioners, aerosols, and industry processes, such CFCs जो है, they further lead to the ozone depletion. Particularly they had caused the ozone depletion over Antarctica. And ozone depletion जो है, it further increases the risk of skin cancer, cataracts, damage to the crops and marine ecosystem. Although international agreements जो है, like Montreal Protocol, they had been signed, which also aims at to reduce CFC use, and they also aim at to reduce the damage that are caused by the human induced actions. And This agreement also aims at to protect the ozone layer. Similarly, talking about terrestrial destruction, or we can say land and soil degradation, which include deforestation. Like the forests है, they are the vital source for maintaining ecological balance, and जो forests है, they also act as a carbon sinks after main carbon sinks after oceans, जो कि regulate करते हैं climate, जो कि conserve करते हैं biodiversity को, और जो कि support करते हैं livelihoods को. However, large scale deforestation जो है for agricultural, mining, and for urban expansion logging, that had further resulted in the loss of wildlife habitats, decline in the biodiversity, increased carbon emissions, and disruption of the water cycles. So जो deforestation है, it had also causes the soil erosion, जहाँ fertile top layer soil जो है, that is washed away by the rain, or that is blown away by the wind, which reduces the agricultural productivity of that land, and which further leads to the desertification. Similarly, urbanization and land use change, like जो rapid urbanization है, that has transformed natural landscapes into the concrete dominated areas, और जो forests, wetlands या जो grasslands है, that are now replaced by the buildings, roads and industries. And ये जो process है, this process further leads to the fragmentation of ecosystems, loss of the green cover, increased surface runoff, and urban flooding, and also the heat island effect in the cities. So जो unplanned urban sprawl है, it reflects humanity's destructive impact on the terrestrial ecosystems. ठीक है. Third, talking about the aquatic destruction, or we can say water pollution and marine degradation, which include industrial and agricultural pollution, or we can say it had caused due to the industrial and agricultural pollution. Like जो industrial discharge है, which is untreated or जो partially treated effluents है, that contain toxic chemicals, heavy metals and radioactive substances that were extracted, or that were uh, extracted on into the rivers, lakes, and बहुत सारे agricultural activities जो है, that also contribute to the that also contribute to the fertilizer and pesticide, which further causes the eutrophication, that depletes the oxygen in the water bodies and kills the aquatic life. So जो polluted water effects है, these are like drinking water availability, which also affects the human health and aquatic biodiversity. Similarly, marine pollution and plastic waste, like the oceans हैं, they have now becoming the dumping grounds for the plastic waste, और millions of tons of plastic जो है, that enters marine ecosystems every year. So breaking जो कि break होते हैं into the microplastics, और ये जो particles है, these are ingested by the marine organisms, and they enter into the food chain and ultimately affect the human health. Similarly, like oil spills, overfishing, and coral reefs जो है, they destructive, which further illustrate that also shows the humanity's destructive role in the aquatic environments. ठीक है. Now, second, talking about the man as a creator, or we can say architect of environmental sustainability. Despite the extensive damage, जो humans हैं, they are not only the destroyers, but they have also the ability, they are also capable of creativity, innovation and ethical responsibility. So through science, technology and policy, जो humans हैं, they can restore the ecological balance, and they can create the sustainable systems. Like जो architect है, human being, जो human being है, he act as the architect of environmental sustainability through the creation of renewable energy systems, which include the harnessing natural forces, like जो human ingenuity है, that has also enabled the development of renewable energy sources such as solar energy, wind energy, hydropower, geothermal energy, और ये जो energy systems हैं, these energy systems generate electricity without emitting greenhouse gases, that also reduces the dependency on the fossil fuels, and which further shows the transition to the which further also highlights that कि जो transition है towards the renewables, it is essential for combating climate change and for ensuring energy security. Similarly, green hydrogen and clean technologies, like जो advancements हैं, developments हैं in green hydrogen technology, that also allow hydrogen that to be produced by using the renewable electricity and water, which also create clean fuel with zero carbon emissions. Similarly जो electric vehicles या जो energy efficient buildings है या जो smart grids है, they are now more common, which also shows that कि जो humanity का जो creative role है, that is also essential in building the low carbon future. Second जो है that is ecological restoration and reforestation. Like afforestation and reforestation, जो human beings हैं, they have also initiated large scale tree planting programs to restore the degraded lands. और बहुत सारी projects जो है that were conducted like in Africa's Great Green Wall, which aims at to combat desertification, improve livelihoods and enhance the climate resilience. So ये जो reforestation है, it will help to absorb carbon dioxide, it will restore the soil fertility, and it will support the biodiversity and regulate the climate action. Similarly, rebuilding and biodiversity conservation, rewilding and biodiversity conservation. Rewilding जो है, it basically includes the restoring ecosystem by reintroducing native species, particularly apex predators, and this also helps to create balanced food chain and self-sustaining ecosystem that will protect the areas, wildlife corridors, and conservation laws जो है, that also reflect humanity's role as an environmental creator. Similarly, third जो है, that is circular economy and green urban development, which includes circular economy like जो traditional economy systems हैं, they mainly follow a take, make, dispose model, which leads to the waste and pollution. While जो circular economy है, that focuses on the recycling and reuse, waste energy systems, sustainable product design. So by mimicking natural zero waste processes, जो human beings हैं, they can also reduce resource depletion and environmental damage. Similarly, green cities and sustainable architecture. Modern urban planning जो है, that also focuses on the sustainability through green buildings, urban forest and parks, and vertical gardens and rooftop farming. So ये जो innovations है, these innovations that will improve the air quality, they will reduce the urban heat, and they will also enhance the quality of life. And they will also demonstrate humanity. These innovations also demonstrate, they also show the humanity's creative potential. ठीक है. At conclusion, we had learned that कि जो concept है man as a creator and destroyer of environment, it underscores the profound responsibility of humans towards their planet. While जो past and present human activities हैं, they have caused severe environmental degradation, climate change, and biodiversity loss, but जो human beings हैं, they also have an ability, they also have an intelligence, they can have technology, and they also have a moral awareness, which is important to revise this damage. And जो future है अर्थ का, that also depends on the conscious shift from exploitation to the stewardship. And by embracing sustainable development, renewable energy, ecological restoration, and ethical consumption, जो human beings हैं, they can fully assume their roles as creators rather than destroyers. And this will also survive environment for the future generation. And this choice है, this also determines whether your planet है, it will continue to suffer or to begin or to heal. So guys, that is it for today. I hope आपको अच्छे से क्लियर हुआ होगा. अगर कोई भी डाउट कंफ्यूजन हो तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर लिखें. So that is it. I hope you find this video informative. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to Discipline Talk channel. Thank you for watching.